Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of D3 Live. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit differently. What is the perfect video game console? Now for this we're going to have a little bit of fun. Instead of just me talking about what I think and everything, I'm going to take questions from everyone in the chat, on Blog TV, from Twitter, as well as you guys on YouTube who want to leave them in the comment section below. Now the whole premise behind this idea is really simple. What is the perfect video game console in your opinion? So it doesn't have to be entirely realistic. I mean, if you wanted to have a Nintendo DS that played Xbox 360 games, totally cool. Just whatever you think would be the perfect game console. So, there's a lot of different things that are important. So, for example, graphics, obviously, are going to be pretty important. Backwards compatibility with older games. Having different franchises like Halo on the Wii or whatever. And we're just going to have a little bit of fun with this and just kind of pretend that you get an audience with, the CEO of Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo or whatever, and just tell them what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and start with what I think and what kind of like an idea that I had that I think would be pretty cool. So, of course, all the video game consoles in this generation use DVDs, or in the case of the PlayStation 3, it uses a Blu-ray. That's great. Discs are, fine, beats old cartridges in most cases. However, ever since I've really started getting into PC gaming, and well, this has been the past couple years, but the more I play, the more I realize I really like download only. Now, there's a lot of problems with download only. Not everyone has a lot of internet restrictions as far as, the bandwidth caps and speed and everything like that. But for those of you who do have a really good internet connection, would you be interested in a console? So let's say it's the PlayStation 4. So let's say that they have a normal version of it. You buy the games just like the discs, and it's no problem. And you get to play the games just like a normal PlayStation. However, what if there was a different version of it that was smaller and cheaper that was only download only? Personally, I think, even though I love actually owning the discs and everything, I think I actually might go for that because, like I said, I like just downloading the games. I don't like to have to, fumble through the discs and everything. I just like have it on there, especially if I had a decent sized hard drive that I wouldn't have to worry. So that's kind of my question to you guys, is that's kind of what my dream console would be if they had, well, maybe not dream console, but I think that would be a really good idea. But enough about what I think. Let's go ahead and take a look at what everyone else has to say. So what, guys, would be your favorite video game console? In fact, we'll go ahead and take a question from Twitter here. Perfect console would have Steam on it. Yeah, there's already this thing called a PC that has Steam on it. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Steam could be on an actual console, I think that would be great. So let's take a question from the chat. We'll see, as you guys see, we're doing a little differently to this week, but I'll just take a lot of your guys' thoughts and opinions and whatnot. They already had that with the OnLive. It's actually a pretty good point. OnLive is a really cool system. If you guys are not familiar with what it is, basically it is a streaming service. So instead of having to download the games or buy the discs, whatever, it just streams it. So the game runs on a server, and basically what you see on your TV is like video, and when you do the controller, it sends it back. So pretty much there's nothing to download, there's nothing to install. All you see, as long as you have a good internet connection, is just the game. Personally, I think internet connections aren't quite good enough for OnLive. I know there's a fair, I wouldn't say a lot of lag, but there is some lag involved, and that's a little bit of a turnoff for me. But yeah, absolutely, OnLive has a lot of capabilities, and I think it could really do well in the future. A touchscreen controller. Well, there have been a certain thing called the Wii U that's coming that's going to have a touchscreen controller. I'm interested to see it. To be honest, I'm not 100% sold that a touchscreen is going to be fantastic, but I definitely can say, especially with the motion sensors and everything, that could be a really good deal. Social integration. I'm not a big fan of social integration in my games. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really mind if I can pull Facebook friends or people from Twitter over into my games to get out of the friend list. I mean, that's not a big deal. I don't mind that too much. But I don't want Farmville on an Xbox or anything like that. I think that there's a certain line, and in my opinion, of course, it's definitely different for you guys. In my opinion, I think social integration should just be helpful for just getting friends to find online. Just kind of ease that. I don't want every time I get a trophy to be put on my Facebook wall or go tweet when I beat the game or something. I'm not totally sold on that. PS3 plus Wii U plus Xbox 360 would equal a pretty crazy console. Again, since this is all for fun, let's see, what would that be? I mean, I guess for that, you obviously have all the consoles and all the games on one. And there actually has been a lot of talk throughout, the years that, what if they just quit making individual consoles and you have to spend $300 here and $300 here and $300 here and just mold it into one console that you buy that plays all the games. I kind of like that idea. I mean, like the PC, for example. You know, unlike an Xbox or a PlayStation, it's not like you can just go, well, the PlayStation 3 is pretty close, but it's not like you can take a Super Nintendo game and just plug it in. But with the PC, a lot of time you can play a game that was, you know, maybe from 1998 or 1988, and you can play it pretty much not perfect, I don't want to say perfect, but really good backwards compatibility with PC games. And if they were able to do something like with the console, if Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo just got together and go, you know what, let's just make one console, that'd be pretty cool. Although, I don't think that's ever going to happen, just saying that, but I think it would be a pretty cool idea. An alliance of Apple with PlayStation so that we can play iOS simple games, but also hardcore PS3 games. That's actually a great idea, I think. I mean, a lot of it, especially when you look at the 3DS, which hasn't been doing quite as well as a lot of people had thought they would, I think a lot of that is due to the fact that there are a lot of really cheap, decent games on the iPhone, as well as on Android and smartphones in general. So if they could combine something, a lot of those fun games like Angry Birds and Fruit Ninja and all the kind of fun games that you can just throw in your pocket, as well as some really more hardcore, in-depth games like Uncharted and Gran Turismo and Fallout and all the really cool game franchises on the the main side. If they could go ahead and pull those together, I think that'd be really cool. The perfect console should be able to be unlocked, hacked legally. Awesome. Could not agree more. Now, that one thing I've always felt is consoles, if you buy something, you should be able to do whatever you want with it. Now, I don't condone piracy. I think you should, if there's a good game, absolutely go buy that. I mean, that goes without saying. I absolutely believe that. But there are other things you can do, like PS3. Like, you can run it, it's like a full computer if you wanted to. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that you can do. Like the Wii, for example. It plays DVDs, but they don't let you do that. I think that seems really, really silly to me. So yeah, I absolutely agree. If they could make a console and just say, hey, you know what, if you want to unlock, if you want to tinker, you want to do cool stuff on it, absolutely feel free. Because to be honest, when they lock it down, that's not a big deal. It just gets unlocked. It might take a few months or a few years. But if they allow you to do it and they put stuff in place, maybe to prevent piracy, that's totally cool. I think that would be awesome. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of D3 Live. Now, of course, we've taken all the questions from everyone who's watching the show live. Next, I want to hear what you guys have to say. So, what is your perfect video game console? Again, answers can be as crazy as you want. It doesn't actually have to be realistic, but what kind of video game console would make you buy it 110%? So definitely be sure to leave those thoughts or your ideas in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys next time.